minutes? Is that the minutes? That one.
Welcome to the November 2nd, 2022 meeting of the Riverfront Design Committee. My name is John Postick and I'm the chair of the committee. When called on, applicants and speakers will come to the front podium to speak. Only one person at a time should come to the podium. Don't approach the podium unless vacated by the previous speaker. Speak into the microphone, please, and identify yourself and provide your address for the record when you begin speaking. Address your comments, questions, and testimony to the committee. Limit your comments to 3 minutes. It is unnecessary to repeat testimony previously given by others. Citizens may address the committee on agenda items by responding to chair's call for speakers during discussion on each item and signing the speaker's log on the podium. All comments must be relevant to the item. The chair or presiding officer may, in his or her discretion, prohibit a person from addressing the committee and/or remove that person from the council chambers if that person commits any disorderly or disruptive behavior. Please see the agenda for more information about these requirements. If you parked in the Sheridan Walker parking garage north of John Rex Elementary School or the Arts District parking garage immediately south of City Hall, staff can provide a parking validation ticket to you. The agenda and documents are located at https://okc.primegov.com/public/portal. You would then select the Riverfront Design Committee meeting, then click on an agenda item and the relevant documents will come up below the item. Desiree, would you please call the roll?
Committee Member Postick.
Present.
Committee Member Heisel.
Present.
Committee Member Dean. Committee Member Howard. Committee Member Larson.
Here.
Committee Member Montoya.
Present.
Committee Member Ramirez.
Here.
Committee Member Templeton. Chair, we have quorum.
Thank you. Agenda item number 2A, approval of minutes of the October 6th, 2022 meeting. I would entertain a motion.
Templeton to approve a motion to approve minutes for October 6, 2022.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Montoya, second.
Thank you. I think I may be the problem this time. My screen is not showing a vote option.
Would you like to verbal?
I would like to vote in favor, yes.
Noted.
And the motion passes. Agenda item number 3, cases withdrawn, there are none. Agenda item 4, continuance requests, there are none. Item 5, consent docket, there is none. Item 6, cases for individual consideration, there are none. Item 7, other business. Item 7A, SPUD 01468 at 2133 Southwest 11th Street. Laura?
Thank you. Let me, Laura Griggs, Planning Department. Okay. It is not working. Yeah, just slowly go through them, thanks. Daryl. Sorry, we're having a little technical difficulty. So this is a request to rezone to a simplified plan unit development, a piece of property that is literally across the street from the Stockyards Design District. That's straight, that is to the west and that's to the south of this. There's a church there, and that is the backup one. And then there's a little bitty house that's part of it, and that's the little bitty house. So thanks, you can go on. So the proposal is they want to tear down the church and the church structure, which is the one there on the right behind the fence, and they want to build new building on the property. It is right on the edge of a residential neighborhood that is immediately to the east. And that's across the street. So we have other churches, we have industrial uses. It's kind of a mixed bag over in there. I'm only about a block off of Agnew, I believe it is. So I gave you some information about the property itself and what they've done on the property. It appears that about a year ago, so if you can go back up to the first one. The property was transferred from the Catholic bishop's name to Catholic Charities. You can leave it right there, thanks. And I'm assuming that's about when the church stopped operating. The uses that they're doing there are considered accessories to a church, but when you don't have a church operating, then you run into some issues. So when they first called us, we had to put our heads together, and unfortunately, they were going to have to rezone it to a SPUD to accommodate all of the services they want to provide at this location for the women's sanctuary. So in looking at the SPUD, I made comments in the staff report about there's some uses that they're listing that they want to allow that are listed as conditional uses in Scenic River. The problem with that is, even though they're listed as conditional uses in Scenic River didn't establish the conditions for those uses. So I don't really have any conditions to say, well, they got to meet these because we didn't establish those in 2007. So they're wanting to have a SPUD that uses the O2 General Office as the base zoning. There is a discussion that I have in here. The first one deals with landscaping and screening from the parking lot, and that is on the northwest corner. They're proposing a small parking lot. And the problem is, for them to comply with the landscaping requirements, they would encroach in the site triangle because it would be over 2 foot tall, and that's at an intersection, and we really don't want to block view at the intersection, so it wouldn't make sense to say, but you've got to comply with the landscaping, because then you can create a hazard for the traveling public. So staff didn't have a problem with them not providing that landscaping. It's a very small parking lot, and it's for their uses. So this isn't like it's a retail or a medical office type use where you're going to have cars coming and going all of the time. Setbacks. So in this sub-district of Scenic River, which is the Stockyards River District, and I had that in the staff report, there is a very interesting, because we haven't really had to deal with this, and it's more a downtown type setback. But new structures are required to have a minimum of 80% of the front facade has to be on the property line at the street right-of-way, okay, which is totally different than what you have in this neighborhood. You've got a historic neighborhood. It was platted back in 1909, And so you have houses that are set back 20, 25 feet, because that is traditionally what you have in a residential neighborhood. And it wouldn't make sense to say, no, you have to be right out at the street, because that really wouldn't fit in with the neighborhood. And they're not proposing, in your packet, there was a site plan, and there were renderings showing the proposed structure, which is going to look a lot like the church that's there now, which is really nice. And what they're proposing, in the opinion of staff, fits in with these houses that were constructed between 1921 and 1929 that are set back 20 to 25 feet. So staff didn't have a problem with the location that they're proposing and the setback that they're proposing. They are proposing the 10-foot setback from the side, which is because it's a corner, it actually has 3 frontages, but from the north-south street that it's adjacent to, they are proposing a 10-foot setback, which is what Scenic River requests. So with all of that in mind, staff is recommending that the Riverfront Design Committee provide a recommendation of approval to the Planning Commission, and I have that wording at the end if you're so inclined to use that. The applicant, Mark Grubbs, is here today that could answer any questions you might have, or I don't know if he has a presentation he wants to do, he might.
Thank you, Laura. Before we invite the applicant to speak, are there any questions for staff from committee members? Hearing none, would the applicant like to address the committee?
Mark Grubbs, 1800 South Sarah Road, on behalf of the applicant. I'll fill this out when I'm done. Also have with me Matthew Radcliffe, which is the architect on the project. As Laura stated, this is, so there's currently 2 structures on the property, currently operating as a women's development center, and the proposal is to tear those structures down and redevelop this property. And because it's currently R4 and doesn't allow for that use, we've had to come in and rezone this property. The 3 things that we are asking for a variance for within the SPUD to the Scenic River Overlay District are the setbacks to include the 3 conditional uses, and those uses are typically seen in conjunction with religious facilities, and then also the parking lot buffering around the very small parking lot at the north end. I don't have much to add other than that, and we'd be happy to try to answer any questions. We'd ask for your approval.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from committee members for the applicant? Mark, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any additional comments or questions, or otherwise I would entertain a motion?
Dana Tippleton, I would like to provide a recommendation of approval to the Planning Commission on the basis that this project complies with the intent of the Scenic River Overlay Design District zoning ordinance as referenced in Section D of the staff report.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And that was Jonathan Heisel.
Is it coming up on yours?
And the motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 7B, elect chair.
Remember what I said, we have 2 people missing.
I would like to nominate Jonathan Heisel as chair. Would you be interested?
I'd be willing to serve if you wanted me to.
Would anyone else like to nominate themselves or another? Hearing none,
Okay, so we have a motion.
the
Well,
motion is to
My question is this. The chair normally can't make a motion.
Of course, I cannot. I apologize. I get
So
all eager
you're,
and ahead
so
of
you're
myself.
recommending, Jonathan, so hopefully then one of the other members, if you agree with that, you will make the official motion, because unfortunately, John can't.
Thank you for the reminder, Laura.
No problem.
Templeton, I would like to make a motion that we elect Jonathan Heisel as chair of the Riverfront Design Review Board Committee.
Okay.
And seconded by Committee Member Larson.
Oh,
I
okay.
second it.
The motion passes. Congratulations, Mr. Heisel.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I deserve.
Agenda item number 7C, elect vice chair. I would open up for nominations.
I'd like to nominate John Postic as vice chair.
I would gratefully decline that nomination. Thank you.
I'd nominate Barbara Larson.
I decline.
You decline that? All right.
Nope.
Richard, yours.
I would suggest the
Remember,
nomination of
Scott's
Ricardo.
not here, and Michelle's not here. But we also have
Ricardo.
3 other members who have not declined the nomination.
I'd like to nominate Ricardo then.
Okay.
Haven't talked to him yet about it, but,
I would accept. Yeah.
okay.
Hey.
I'll move.
I'll second it.
Was that Barbara, did you second? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
We could have done Scott wrong, though.
And the motion passes.
He owes me a
Congratulations to our new chair and vice chair for the coming year.
Thank you.
Agenda item 8, communications. 8A, administrative approval report. Laura, anything we need to know about these items?
Changing material and color of a dumpster enclosure for Barkay, and way down on Southwest 24th, which is really far away from the river, but that's a discussion for another time, demolition of some really dilapidated structures.
We appreciate the succinct updates. Item
Getting an email from me probably the first of next week. We had an item submitted
Okay.
that met the deadline, so we will have a meeting
In December.
in December.
Great.
Check your calendars so that you can respond when I send out the quorum call.
Wonderful. Item 8C, comments from committee members.
I'd like to say thank you for all you've done, Mr. Fossick.
Oh, yeah.
Leading our group. Appreciate it.
Well,
And
thank you.
appreciate all your effort and diligence in running these meetings.
Appreciate
Done a great
that.
job.
It's really been an honor and a pleasure. It's a great group to work with. Item 8D, next meeting date, as Laura said, will be Thursday, December 1st. And with that, we will adjourn today's meeting. Thank you all very much.
And have a good Thanksgiving, everybody.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I was looking very intently.
We're going to leave that one there.